Okay, good evening, everyone. I know we are eating up your Friday and the match is going on, but thanks for joining. And so today, like you've all been waiting for, is going to be the technical webinar. I'm sure you guys are itching to get started. So, a couple of things that we want to run you by. So, the rules of the game. Pay close attention to how things are done here. I'm going to take you step by step, starting with what iEngage is. Show you around the platform, show you the iEngage APIs, and also show you how to use the SDK in the Java environment. Okay, so wait for us to cover a topic before asking questions. We realized last time a lot of you were eager to ask questions. So we have our tech team with us, Sachin and Siddharth from our tech team. Okay, so we have Sachin and Siddharth from our tech team who will be taking you through most of the stuff. They will join soon. Okay, we will have a formal Q&A session at the end of the demo. So in case during the course of the webinar, you guys come up with new questions, don't worry, we will cover them as well. Okay, you can raise your hands as and when you think necessary, but the questions will be answered only when we finish a topic. Okay, make notes and enjoy the show. So over to you, Siddharth. I'll just stop sharing my screen and share yours.
Right. Can everyone hear me? Yeah. Right. So I'll be explaining first of all. So like a lot of you have questions about what the APIs are all about. So let me classify the API in 4 parts for you. So this is a very generic classification, not a hardcore one. So first of all, in terms of ingestion, iEngage will be able to take your interactions, be it text, audio, or even video. So that is the part where the interaction channel comes in. So if you look down, you'll see the augmented intelligence, human and machine. So what that will cover is for every interaction that you push through our ingestion pipelines, we have a lot of APIs that will augment them. So you'll have APIs to classify text, to tag text, to get keywords from text, be it even if it's audio. You'll have APIs to parse your text. So all of those APIs are clubbed in the augmented intelligence. We have another set of APIs for rewards and recognition. This is something very custom and open to you. It's how you decide to do it. So all the interactions that you're going to be pushing in through the ingestion pipeline, you can set up rules and parameters about how to reward people or recognize people. This is a set of APIs that will enable you to have a workflow that if a particular user has a interaction in a certain way, you can set up rules and reward that user. This is what rewards and recognition will allow you to do. We have another set of APIs called the process engine. So what this will allow you to do is it will allow you to set up workflows and rules. So it's a bit like rewards and recognitions in the sense that you can adjust it according to your liking. So where records and recognition is about how you can decide that if this is the input, like this is how we're going to reward the user. With process engine, you can trigger workflows. The workflows can be internally iEngage APIs, or it could even be external APIs. Just wait a minute. So with workflow, you can set up rules internally as to a particular kind of interaction flowing in through the ingestion pipeline. You can trigger off anything in the platform. So all the APIs that you're about to see could be basically in general could be classified in these 4 categories. So on the right side, you'll see a description on the right side of the chart. You'll see a description of these 4 things. And I'll now let Sachin walk you through how to set up the APIs and how to access them in a Java development environment.
So anyone have any questions about this? Everyone's clear? If you have any questions regarding this, go ahead, ping away and we'll get them answered. Okay, seems to me like everyone's understood. So we'll move on. Okay, Sachin, you're all yours.
Hi guys, today I'll walk you through iEngage APIs and how to use those iEngage APIs in Java environment. So first thing, you'll have to log in into iEngage console. We have already shared and created and shared account details with you over email. Hope you have received it. You can also check spam folder if it is not available in inbox. You can also click on forgot password to reset your password. Okay, so let me log in with my credentials. Yeah, so when you log in first time, we are redirecting you to on this page. It will take 1 to 2 minutes to generate your credentials in the background. And these credentials you'll need to call iEngage APIs. So here you can see I have generated access token, client token for my account. We have iEngage SDK for Java, Python, and C# language. If you're planning to use some other programming language other than these three, you can also use and code directly in that language and use iEngage APIs. Yeah, so let me walk you through how to set up environment in Java. You'll have to use same procedure for Python as well as C#. So first you'll have to download iEngage SDK. Let me do that. Okay, so this contains iEngage SDK plus all the dependencies required to call iEngage APIs. Okay, so next is this is sample code. Here we are calling iEngage post interaction API. And here you can see this code is already contained access token, client token, and logged in user ID. If you are planning to use some other APIs other than this, you'll have to copy these tokens and put it in client token and access token field. Okay, so let me copy this code and run it in the Eclipse. Yeah, so before this, I'm assuming all of you will have installed Java version and Eclipse running on your laptop. First, you'll have to create Java project. Then we'll have to create class file where we can execute this code. Okay, so I have already copied this code. I'll paste it here. All right, here you can see there are a few exceptions because iEngage SDK is not in our build path. We'll have to add those iEngage jar files in build path. Okay, so here is our jar files. We'll add these jar files in build path. Okay, so here you can see now this is ready to run. Here is one of sample message. You can provide any message which you want. Let me change this to how do I use Python SDK. So this is one of the input interactions which I'm planning to pass it to iEngage APIs. Let me run this program. Yeah, so here we can see we have received response with status code 2000, and we also got the unique ID for that interaction. And we can see the same response, same interaction here itself. So this is the right step to validate that your account is successfully configured and you are able to successfully call iEngage APIs. All right. Okay. So this was one of the example how to set up and use iEngage SDK in Java environment. So later on, if you miss your keys, then you can also find it here in applications. Here you can see this is my keys. Let me now walk you through iEngage APIs. So in API console, you'll see all iEngage APIs with Swagger documentation. So we have almost 150 plus APIs, and we grouped these 150 plus APIs in total 11 sections. So today I'll walk you through how we grouped those APIs in that section. Definitely, you'll have to go and check how many APIs are there, where you can utilize those APIs in your use case. Okay, so first one is augmented intelligence. So in this section, we have directly available few machine learning APIs. So for example, this is to find out important keywords from input text. You'll have to provide the text, and client token will get the important keywords from it. We have API to find out what is the interaction type. This is with the default model. We are classifying input interactions into 5 different types. We have this for classification. You can classify input text, depends on model training. Later on, I'll explain you how to train the model and how to provide data for that training. We also have few of the analytics related APIs which you can utilize in your use case. So next one is user authentication. So this is related to user management and authenticating login users. Those kind of APIs are here. This is for workflow. You can configure the workflow from admin panel, and to perform some actions and events, you'll have to use these APIs. So you can see we can assign tasks to any user. User can perform the complete task. Those kind of APIs are here. In collaboration section, we have multiple APIs for blogs, discussions, wikis. If in your use case you are planning to use blog feature, discussion feature, or if you're planning to build some wiki kind of thing, you can utilize these APIs. Next one is group and ideas. So group and ideas is like, you can define themes. So theme can be digital India or smart cities, and you can capture ideas on those themes. So these two groups are related to each other. First, we'll have to create the groups. It's like theme, define it. Users can go and follow to those groups things. And while publishing any idea, or you are providing feature to publish, post any ideas to other users, you'll have to first set up the theme. And by using these ideas APIs, you can post the ideas, you can rate the ideas, you can search the ideas. Depends on rating, you can find out the top ideas. So here we have 20 plus APIs for ideas. In interaction section, so this is like core of iEngage. So in this section, you can publish, post any kind of interactions. So those interactions can be audio file, text, video file, images, or PDF. You can search interactions, you can delete interactions, you can update interactions, you can reply to interaction by using these APIs. So we have here 20 plus APIs in interaction category. We have project management section. So here we have a few APIs to create milestone, create tasks. So this is related to project management kind of capability, and you can utilize these APIs there. In notifications, so while doing something in iEngage, for example, you have posted one interaction related to machine learning, and iEngage will internally, depends on the previous data, it will recommend it to someone else. And that guy will definitely should get the notification that this might be the query will able to answer, and he should answer it. So here system should push some notification to the user. So here we have few APIs for that. In rewards and recognition, so we are calling it karma points. So if users are doing some activity, and definitely we should encourage them to perform some activity, reply to the queries. For those kind of things, we have rewards and recognition. So if user will do some activity in the iEngage, they should get some point, and system will internally generate points for user. By using these APIs, you can call this API and get the top users who got maximum points. This is the last section where you can follow the user, you can send friend request to the user. Those kind of APIs related to social thing are in these sections. All right, so let me also walk you through admin section. Okay, so this is one of the important piece in which you might be interested in, and you will definitely need it by using some iEngage APIs. Okay, so this is for classification training. First, you'll have to provide data for classification. Then you can import that file for training, and system will use this data for training the model, and which might be and will be definitely helpful for classification. Let me also show you sample file. So here is the sample file. This is the format you'll have to follow to provide data for training. Here, as an example, I have used two classes. One is red and one is bug. And here you'll have to mention the sentences on which you want to provide the training. So these are two important columns for training. So here I have used same training file, and I have already trained the model. So I'll show you how to use it. So here also you can test it, the same model after training. The login page not working. So from this sentence, definitely anyone will guess this is not related to price, this is related to bug. So let us check what is the classification of for this. Yeah, so here you can see we have labels, and we are also providing score for that labels. And for bug it is 2.2, and for red it is minus 2.2. So higher score is for bug. And you can also train the model for different categories with different sentence, and you can use that. Okay. Okay, so let me show you how to use this model ID. So in this section, we have classify web service. Here you'll have to provide model ID. This is the input sentence. You can provide any kind of sentence. Here you will need client token. From where you'll get it, you'll have to find it in the applications. Here is the client token. Okay, so here you can see we got the response through iEngage API. For bug it is 2.2, and for rate it is minus 2.2. Yeah, all right, guys, do you have any questions on this?
Okay, guys, if you have any questions, go ahead in the Q&A section. I see someone has in the polls not understood how to use an API. So it also depends on, can you also depends on whether you were there. We started at 7:05. We give you guys a buffer time. Anyway, please ask your questions in the Q&A section. We'll try and answer as much as possible. So, Sachin, Sumit has a question. How many models are we allowed to train?
Right. Yeah, Smith. So there's no as such limit for how many models you train, but it should be a reasonable amount. Like, I hope you understand what that means. Like, train the model as per your use case. Hope that answers your question. Are there any other questions from any other participants?
Can you explain again how we use Python SDK?
Right, Nitin. So the Python SDK would be very similar to what the Java SDK look like. So all you have to do is, so in Python, all you have to do is just clone the module from Git repository. Like I'll wait, just let me. Right. So just go on GitHub and search iEngage. You'll find the Python SDK. Just git clone it to a repository. And we'll also have a video up and running after this webinar explaining how to get the Python SDK running in Python. So for the Python case, we'll have a video up and running after this webinar. So we have one more question from Abhishek.
Yeah, Abhishek. So response API to reply to the interaction. So there can be many interaction. So for example, what is the use of that response from iEngage? So this is your question, right? So response, I hope you are talking about response API in iEngage section, or you are talking about JSON response. So let me also explain both the things to you so that there won't be any confusion. So response is like you're posting some interaction and you're getting some JSON response back. You can utilize that response to show some message in the applications you are planning to build. That is one of the thing. And the second is we also have a response API in interactions, iEngage interaction section. Here you can reply to main interaction by using this API.
All right. Any further questions?
Right, wait, we have another person asking for Python. So I'm just gonna gloss it over. Like you'll have a video after this, but I'm just gonna gloss it over. You clone the Git repository, place it somewhere. If you want the library to be accessible globally, just put it in your global Python interpreters side packages, and then you'll be able to import it. If you're using a virtual environment, then in your virtual environment, wherever your Python script is, just import sys and append the path towards the wherever you have cloned the iEngage repository. So it would be sys.path.append. All of this information will be available in a video, but people who want it. Right. So also updating on the Sumit's answer. Sumit, the current plan may limit you to 5 models. But if you like for your use case, if you want more models, feel free to reach out to us. On the topic of reaching out to us, I would actually recommend that you on the iEngage website, on the bottom right corner, you have a question mark there. That's a support channel. So if you face any problems, feel free to reach out to us. Also, we have a Slack community that we are very active in. So that is the preferred mode of communication, if you will, because we are very active there, and the response should be more faster. If you look at the chat, Nikhil has already posted the Slack join link. So for any questions or any queries that you may have, please feel free to contact us here.
All right, guys. Any further questions? Don't worry about it being stupid questions. Just go ahead and ask. We are here to answer your questions. Like Siddharth said, we have already posted the link in the chat. So you can go ahead and join the Slack community if you haven't already. So we have another question from Abhishek. Response that is you displayed when login is not working. Is that response that is you displayed when login is not working? Sachin?
Yeah, Abhishek. So the response when we are sending login is not working. It is basically a classification for input text, and you can use this classification in your application to classify input text. That is the use of it.
All right. Okay, guys, any further questions? I think Sumit has a question. What about sample project or a prototype?
Right, Sumit. So, Sumit, I would need some clarification regarding your question. Like, are you asking in a sample project how many models you can train? Like, I didn't get exactly what you're trying to ask here. If you could just type down your answer. Hi, Sumit. Sumit, the reason for not showing a sample project or prototype was to not bias or influence all of you people to actually divert or redirect to in that particular use case direction. So we wanted you to have a blank slate and decide on your own. So if we did do that, that would have a high probability of people being affected and going in that particular direction, which is not something desirable to us.
Okay, then I think everyone's done asking questions. Uh, Again, if you haven't joined the Slack community, go ahead and join that. If you have friends who are participating in the hackathon, please share this link with them and get them to join as well. You can feel free, to message us on the Slack community with all your questions. You want to bounce out ideas regarding your project, you can do that also there. So feel free to ask your questions on Slack. And so that's it. Even on the website, there's an option for you to raise a support query. So go and do that as well. All right, guys. Thanks for attending. See you in the next one.